Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Trust you guys are okay this morning. Please, I want you to share, communicate to your members, tell all the LG presidents to also share it with others. So let's get as many people on this live call this morning. Let's get everyone on this live call. So if you are live with me here, I want you to drop your name on the chat box so that I can engage with you directly. If you are live with me, if you can hear me, say hi, I can hear you. If you can hear me, say I can hear you. So if you can hear me, say I can hear you. I want to be sure you guys are with me. So I want to be sure you guys are here with me. If you are here with me, just say hi. Okay, great. We wouldn't take too much time this morning. So I want to quickly browse you through what we want to do this morning. And we are in class number 4, which it's about Google Sheets. Okay. How can you become more productive using Google Sheets? How to analyze your data, how to work smart, analyze data, and boost your productivity. All right. So please do well to, if you have any question, do well to drop it on the chat box. I'll be happy to respond to that. Right. So building your productivity engine in Google Sheets. So I believe one of us or two of us or like good number of us may have used Google Sheet before now. Right. So if you have used Google Sheet before, what do you think Google Sheets is basically used for? What do you think is basically used for? So drop it on the chat box. Let me hear. What do you think it's used for, the major function of Google Sheets? Of course, you can use it for so many things now, even at this age of AI. So, but now, what do you basically use it for? So we are building your productivity engine in Google Sheets, a step-by-step guide to transforming raw data into dynamic AI-assisted productivity dashboard. All right. So the first thing we are going to be looking at analyzing the form. What are the features on the form that is most relevant to what you need for those of you that are beginners? So what are the basic things that we're going to be doing throughout this program? Basically, if you check the description of the YouTube channel, you will see some of the things that we are going to do, we are going to cover today. So Basically, how to create an organized spreadsheet, enter and format data, use rows, columns, and cells, sort and filter information, freeze rows and columns, create drop-down lists, use basic formulas, calculate totals and averages, use COUNTIF, use SUMIF, create simple charts, share, collaborate, and protect important information. All right, so these are basic things that we are going to be doing today. So to get started, the first thing is I want to for you to enter into the Google Sheets interface. The first way is to go through Google Workspace apps, like I showed you in the last class. But another thing is to type sheets.new. So if you type sheet.new, it will automatically bring you here, right? To bring you to this face. And the next thing for you to do is to set your title, the title of your sheet. What do you want to call it, or what do you want to do? Let's just call it CDS attendance sheets. All right, so you name it. And what are the other functions that is also important on this sheet that you need to know? I wouldn't be covering everything, but I will just show you some of the features that is most relevant, right? Number one is the menu bar that you see at the top here, right? You can see file, edit, view, sort, insert, format, data, tools, extension, and help. So all of these houses everything that you need to know, or functions and features you need to use inside Excel. So I will not be diving you through all of the features, right? So you can, of course, most of you already have use MS Word or MS Excel. So Google Sheet is more like an Excel sheet, right? So almost all of the functions of Google Excel also works in Google Sheet, all right? So based on what we want to do today, I will not be diving you through all of it. I'll just tell you some of the features that we need. And this sheet, this interface is called your sheet. And the sheet has an header, right? We have the column header. All this ABC to whatever ending it has is the column header. And below it, by the side here, all this one, the numbering is the row header. Okay, so and these headers are very important if you want to work with sheets, because these headers enable you to name each of the cells in Google Sheet, right? So this first column that I'm pointing at here is called A1. You can see here it's called A1. Why? Because it's an intercept between column A and row 1, right? So if you click on this, it's also called D6. Why? Is the intercept between column D and row 6. All right. So that's how to name cells, and we're going to be using a lot of that in our formulas and functions throughout today's class. Okay, so what do we want to do? So basically, I want to go to my slide now. So this is an example, like personal productivity tracker. So that's what we want to build now, personal productivity tracker. So personal productivity tracker. All right. So, and what I've explained is mapping your digital canvas, and also mapping your digital canvas. Okay, I've explained how to get your cells, identify your cells. Number 3, laying the data foundation. So how do you do? So now for us to lay what we want to build, our personal productivity tracker. So we want to build the column header for our productivity tracker. And what do we need? We need task, date, category, priority, status, and notes. All right. So this is an example of what we want to build. So what do we do? Let's pick up our tags, date, category, priority, status, and notes. Right. So tasks, date, category, dates, category, categories. All right. Priority, status, notes. Priorities, 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 status, notes. All right. So now for you to, what we want to do here, because this is our header, so we want to bold it, we want to give it some extra format. So for you to do that, click on the header. If you want to highlight the whole row or a whole column, the best way to do that is to click on the header that intercepts where you want to do. So for me now, I'm clicking row 1. That will highlight all my functions, and whatever I want to add there, I'll be able to add. Okay, so that is that. We've done the bolding, and so what are the informations that we need to put in our role? What are the information we want to put there? So because of the time, we're not really be able to type in all of these, but we just do like 2-3 different role entry. So we have complete proposal, review analytics, and review. Let's just say, yeah, review analytics and complete proposal. Complete proposal is our task. So now for you to also, like you can see, the text I'm entering here is extending beyond the column size. If I click out now, you will see that it will hide the remaining information. It will hide the remaining information. Can you see? It's hiding the remaining information. For that not to happen, bring your cursor to the header, right? You can see that it's showing a front and back arrow. Drag forward. When you drag it forward, you can be able to expand the size of your row, of your column, right? So we review. So whatever the task is, review proposal, review proposal. So another task may be design flyer. Another task may be review flyer. Right. So let's just use this for information, for tasks. So what is the set date, and what's the category, what's the productivity status, and all of that. All right. So the dates. So what do? We want to all right. So let's just enter the date as we want. Let's say today is 22. /08/2026. That's the format we are using. All right, and you can drag it down if it's the same date you are using. Can you see? So you can and what's the category of the work, who is to do it, right? Let's say complete proposal by content team, review proposal by let's say director, okay, design by graphics team or media team, review flyer by media director. Okay, so media director. All right, so what's the priority? Priorities, is it high, medium? Okay, so low, high, medium, low, right? So I'm entering some of these things now. We'll stay. What's the status? Just follow along with me. It's pending. It's progressing. It's completed. Right. So what's the start? The notes, right? So what information are you passing across to whoever that is reviewing it? Check. Probably you've updated something. Review again. That's review 2. Whatever, right? So let's add one more. Resolved. Let's have one more resolved. Okay. So resolved. Okay. Now, let's go back to our slide. So the first function we want to do here is, you can imagine a situation where you have like 500, tasks. So the question is, we want to freeze. There is a function that we want to apply. It's called freezing, right? How to freeze a bar, a header, how to freeze a header, right? So why do we need to freeze? When managing 500 tasks, member databases, or financial records, your content must remain visible as you could drip into the data, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say we are trying to scroll down to a particular information. Can you see that the header is not there? So we wouldn't know what information are we trying to work on here, right? So that's the function of the freeze. So what we want to do now is to freeze. And how do we freeze? You go to view, you click on freeze. Which one do you want to freeze? Row 1, right? So let's now scroll down. Let's see what happens. Can you see? Our function here still remains. Our function here still remains. So likewise, you can also apply the same. Our header here still remains. So you can also apply the same to your row header. Okay, let's say we want to freeze column A. So we want to freeze column A, view, freeze, column 1. So if you are scrolling, can you see? So it remains. Our column remains. Can you see? The first one here also remains. So let's scroll back. So if you scroll back, let's also navigate here. Can you see that this one also remains? So this is a very good way to freeze a particular row that you want to remain while you are scrolling or you are engaging with multiple information. Okay, so standardizing input with drop down. So now this information that we've designed, so we want to standardize our input. You can imagine we're having 500 entries that we want to set on low, high, medium. Like we want to give it multiple, we have 500 datas like this that we want to actually adjust. So let's say we have all of this down here, okay, and want to have all of this. So you can see what I'm doing. I selected the O4. If I select the O4 and point at this button here, if I drag it down, it will duplicate the O4. And you see, so it will duplicate, it will drop down according to the O4. So let's just follow with this. So now what I want to do here is that I want to select these rows that I've selected here, or let me just pull it down. I will drag down to where I want to apply the function I want to apply. Okay, so you can go to insert, you go to drop down, you can see drop down here. What I want to apply drop down. So automatically it will, can you see? So this is my settings here, data validation rules. So the applied formula is sheet 1, exclamation D2 for column D29. So what that means is that you are applying data validation rules to cell D2 to cell D29. That's what it means. So inside sheet 1, okay? So you're applying the rule inside sheet 1, cell D2 to cell D29. So if you want to extend it beyond that cell, you can also manually adjust it here. And what's the rule you want to apply? This. What are the datas you want to add? High, low, medium, okay? High, low, medium. And if you want to add more functions to it, let's add one more. So let's say max. So let's say max. Okay, I can hear you, Ife. So remind me in the middle of the class so that I can put it up. All right. So max. So can you see? Now I can select low one. I can say, okay, which one do I want to apply? Max, low. So you can easily apply it's called drop down. So that's how to do it on this particular cell. So instead of typing, and at the end of the day, you will see a lot of inconsistency. Can you see what I typed here? Can you see inconsistency here? Check. My review is capital letter R, capital letter E, small letter V, E, W. Can you see? So there's a lot of inconsistency when you are trying to type manually. Okay. So there will be a lot of inconsistency when you are trying to do that manually. All right, so that's how to apply drop down in your work. Likewise, you can also set pending the status too. You can also set it up the same way. So now instead of using drop down, let's do check box here. So we want to do check box here. So So can you see hours now is showing checkbox? You can easily check it. Okay, done, 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 done. And if not, you want to do the drop down. The drop down will automatically pick whatever you've added there initially. So can you see pending, progress, pending? So you can apply to all others as you want. Okay. And so before we leave this section, so let's apply more rule to what we've done here. Allow multiple selection. If you want to allow multiple selection, that would be good. But if not, let's go to advanced. So show out test, show help test for a selected cell. If the data is valid, show warning, reject the inputs, display style, shape, arrow, or plain text. So can you see arrow or whatever shape? So whatever rule you are trying to apply, it works. So you can also select the color that you want for each. Progress is having green, pending is having red, completed is having, so let's turn completed to green, let's turn progress to blue or yellow. Okay, can you see? So if you click on pending, so here we have some of these features. Okay, so you can do as many as you want, just play around with some of these things. Okay, so another thing is shaping your view, sorting versus filter. So this will enable you to automatically sort your item when you are having a very large number of information. How do you want to identify people that let's say we want to sort only let's see content for content, the category, the content team, what are their works. So we want to review only content team. So how do we do that? We do that by sorting them out. So if we sort, now you can see we have content at the top. We have content at the top. So that enables us to really be able to work on, okay, these are content team from here and here. We are not missing out any information, and we are able to get to see from the beginning as content team being able to deliver what they promised to deliver, or they are so behind in their schedule and all of that. So we'll know with the help of the sorting. All right. So likewise, we also can filter. So what's the difference between sorting and filter? So create a filter, and you see. So we want to filter. Can you see that this filter icon shows by the category head? So we want to filter it by what condition? So want it to only show content. So we unselect others. So it will only, so can you see? all other contents are out, all other categories are out. We can only see content. Okay, so if we want it to be like only directors, so only directors work will show, so likewise others. So that's how to filter your work. So it will filter out all other rows, but pick out those ones that are for the filtered work. So that's how to filter your work. So from data sort range, with filter, only the ones that you want will be showing only pending task or only CDS or whatever you create there. So formula anatomy, counting with conditions, equal if, right? So how do you set your formula? So there are various, let's go back. So let's enter some data here. Let's just say score. All right, so let's give this one 10, this one 20, based on the work they've done. So this one 15, this one 36, this one 90, whatever. So all right, so what we want to do here, let me select and drop it down so it can double it down, you can duplicate it. So it's applying so let's just leave it this way. So I want to, for you to apply equal is when you say equal, you are telling the cell that you want to perform a formula action. All right, so let's look at this here. You can see equal always starts every formula with on Google Sheet and Excel. Equal COUNTIF. If you are using COUNTIF, this formula is basically to count the number of entries, or the number of entries, the number of completed, the number of non-completed. Can you see? So there is a condition statement here. So if, let's just do little one that is simple. Equal, let's just sum. You want to add to some of these figures together. Equal sum, what value? Value G, let's say G3, full column G29, close bracket, enter. Okay, it's telling us circular dependencies. Okay, there is no, okay, yeah, we still have some of our equal sum, open brackets, value, to this value, then close your bracket. So what just happened here is that I think I've added some functions here, so it's not allowing it to perform the task. So what I just did here is that picking cell, this particular row, that's G2. So you can decide to do G2 to G28. So that's adding them together, right? See, this is an example of a formula: equal sum G2 for column G28. And for us, what we want to do here is that we want to count some functions here. So let's put it here. It doesn't matter where we put it. In as much we call our cell properly, equal count. Let's just do equal count only. Equal count G to for column G28. Are we correct? Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Equal count G2 for column G28. So we have 13. What does it do? It counted from G2, the number of entry from G2 to G38. All right. So, but if you now want to count for this one now, want to count, you want to give it a conditional statement, equal count, if open bracket. Now let's go to our the formula anatomy counting with conditions. That's what it's telling us here. So equal count if E2 for column E100, comma, then what do you want it to count? So in between all of these, so equal count, yeah. So those are the things you have to look out for. Sometimes if I run this now without seeing that my count is not correct, it will not run. Okay, so what's the range? It's telling us what's the range of the information that we want to count. I want to count from C2 to C28, right? And comma, I see is guiding us. Now I'm correct to this place. Now, what's the criteria? The criteria is we want to count content. Okay, content, then close your brackets, enter. Yeah. So who can tell me why does it not count? It's giving me 0. Why does it not count? Who can tell me why does it not count? Why does it not count? Why does it not count? Drop on the chat box if you are following me. Why does it not count? Why is it not correct? It's telling me 0, but I'm having more than I'm having some level of contents there. So what's the error in my code? I want somebody to tell me. This is the code here. Equal count if C2 for column C28, comma, count. So what's the error? So I will show you so that you can pick it up. So from this code now, What's here that is not in my own code? What's here and not in my own code? What's here and not in my own code? So are you guys with me? So basically, what is missing there is that we are not quoting it. If you don't quote it, right, it will not recognize it as a test. Okay, it will not recognize that a test that we are looking for. So what do? We quote that particular test that you are looking for. Can you see now it's now recognized? So we have content 7. So you can decide to change and say, okay, we know that content now is 7. Let's count media. Media 2 is 7. All right. So that's how to really use COUNTIF. So, and formula anatomy conditional calculation, SUMIF, right? So this one is more like a how much did we spend only on transport? So like equal sum adds everything up, like I used it the other time. Equal sum is telling us that, okay, add everything within this range, add them up. Equal average is telling us find the middle ground, e.g., what's the average of all of the data that all of the figures there. We have 50, 20, 100, 30. What's the average? If you use equal average, it will give you the average of that total cost. Okay. So now the question is, how much did we spend only on transport? Now we are not following verbatim what we have here. All right. So now we can also use equal if statement. It's telling us equal if is category range. Then what test are you looking out for? Right? Like we did in COUNTIF. Then, but we still have more criteria to request for. And the criteria is amount range. What's the amount range? Okay. So let's try to do that with our score. Let's try to do that with our score. So our score equals sum, open brackets, equals sum if. That's the conditional statement. So what's the category range that we want to use? So what's the category range that we want to use? We want to use category range for content. Yes, I've got it. After this one, I will do that. Category range for that we are using is content. Sorry, the range. That's we are picking from G. We are picking from G2 to G28. So what's the criteria? What's the criteria? The criteria is we are picking content. All right. And the comma. Then what's the sum range? What's the sum range? If you check here, the amount range. So for us here, what's the sum range that we are going to use here? So the challenge we have here is that we are not having equal data that will enable us to really run this complete formation, because we are only having one data here. So let's do C. Let's do C2. I'm not sure it will run. C2 to C28. Yeah, I know it will not run because this is not. If we have another figure data now that will enable us, so that's just how it works basically. But our data here is not aligned with what we are trying to do here. Okay, so this one is supposing we have our amount range. There's no amount range here. There's no sum range here. So there's no sum range here. So basically, that's how to, if you add your score and then some other values here, add some other values here, we can run it. Okay. So turning numbers into metrics. So how do you turn your number into bar chart, pie chart, and the likes? So let's just use this content against our score. So we can use content against our score. So to do that, you just insert. It's not difficult. Insert charts. So what value are you using against what value? Which kind of chart are you using? What's your x-axis? Let's use C against G. So the best thing is, if you have your value correct, just select the values you want to use and then click on that. Automatically it will give you what you want, right? And so that's how to run your bar chart. So the productivity dashboard challenge. So what the challenge that I'm giving to you now is enter 10 plus 3 tasks, right, for the CDS or school or business or proposal, format headers and freeze row, create priority and status drop down, sort. So you can screenshot this interface now. It will help you to, that's the work that we are giving to you for the week. So, and of course, I also drop it on the group. I will drop it on the group. So I'm dropping the attendance link now. All right. Let me drop the attendance link. Attendance link. So you can see the attendance link on the screen. So please, let's work on the productivity challenge. So this is a productivity loop: organize, track, analyze. You can analyze, you can calculate, you can clock, you can decide, you can add. So this is a productivity loop. So if you understand Google Sheet very well, it will be easy for you to really be able to analyze your data, you'll be able to track data, be able to act, or you organize your raw data cleanly, update status and variables easily, update status and variables, use formulas to summarize your work, to get your work done, right? Use charts to see trends, to see trends of things, and then interpret insights, make decisions, and complete your task easily. All right. So this is just a summary of what you can, using a project sample, what you can do with Excel, with Google Sheets. Okay. So, and another thing that is very important here is you can also use AI. Let's say, for instance, you don't know what formula to use. You don't know what formula to use to carry out a particular task. Okay. You don't know a formula to use. So you can see drag to fill with Gemini. So can you see Gemini? What did that do? It gives us the automatic date for today, right? So you can also, it already sees what you are trying to do from the beginning, and then applies it. So here you can also call Gemini to check you can try it out. Gemini will be able to read your document. To be able to read your document, so you can sign in if you have not. Okay, but with this account, I've not signed in with Gemini. That's why it's not reading it. So on your own page, you can just try to sign up, and then it will read your page, to read what you are doing. And of course, is also a premium function. It's a premium function. So but of course, you can engage with ChatGPT, Gemini on your standalone stuff. Just tell it, I need a formula to carry out this task. Then, or you can even download your sheet, what the document that you have, upload it on Google, on Gemini or ChatGPT to analyze it for you, right? So We've not got to the level where we're going to be talking about AI deeply, right? So we can use a lot of functions on AI to do a lot of great works. Okay, so that's that for today. So please do well to take your time to work on this productivity dashboard. So what are you supposed to do? Enter 10 real tasks as I've highlighted there. Is it tasks for your CDS or for school business, for your school or for your business or for your personal day-to-day tasks? Format the headers and freeze row, create priority and status drop-down list, sort the highest priority to the top, filter for pending, right? Calculate pending versus completed task using COUNTIF, generate one chart from your data set, share as view or commenter. So let me just, before we wrap up, let me show you how you can share your content with others. Can you see that this one is locked because it's on private? So if you click on it now, to tell you, okay, this account is owned by Digital Onboarder, right? So the general access is set to restrict. So you can tell it to anyone with the link can access it. So anyone with the link can access it. When they access it, they can only view or they can only comment, right? Or they can only edit. So people like that, editors have access to every information in your sheet. So if you give people an editor access, you can set it at editor and then complete. Okay, so before you complete, you can copy the link and then say done. Another thing you could do, if you want to invite somebody to collaborate with you, can decide to invite someone and tell them that, okay, I want you to work with me. Please go through this document and review yeah, so whatever you want to send to the person, you send it, it will go straight to the email of the person with this sheet attached. All right, so this function here is giving you ability to copy if you had not copied before. So public, so it's the same thing with if you are working with Google Docs, you are working with Google Slide, so the same sharing function. This will enable whoever you are sharing the doc information with to really be able to edit, right? To really be able to edit. Okay. Any question so far? Any question? Any question? Any questions so far? Okay, there's no question. Thank you, Ebing. Any question? Any question? So if there's no question, that's it for today. So feel free to drop any other question on the comment section. Please, if you're on this live call and you have not subscribed, or you are going to be watching the live call and you have not subscribed, okay, I think somebody is asking a question. Please do well to subscribe so that more people can get access to this content. So please, what's the difference between Google Sheet and MX Excel? Yeah. The normal Excel that we use before, right? It's a standalone tool. It's a standalone tool, like it works basically on your desktop. So it's not connected to you can't enable collaboration with MS Excel like you can collaborate with Google Sheets, right? So what we just did here now, if I give all of you access to this doc, right? Let me even give you access to this doc. I think I've copied it. Let me just paste it on the Let me paste it. Let me paste it for you to see. So let me paste it here. All right. So try to try to click on it now. Try to click on it. You will also have access because I have given it editor's access. And when anybody is sharing this file with you, their details will show here. I mean, an avatar of them will show at the top here. So let somebody click on the link. Bing, you gotta click on the link. Let somebody click on the link so we can see how it works. So you can collaborate with me. There are things that I've not completed here. You can complete it, right? You can give your feedback. You can correct some things. Now I'm giving you editor's access. So with that editor's access, you can make editor if it's comment access that I've given to you, you can only add comments. Or if it is view access, you can only view, right? But with Excel, you can't do that. You have to send the sheet to somebody, to the person, probably via WhatsApp. So I can see somebody here now, anonymous uni icon, right? We have somebody that have logged in on this sheet. The person now can edit whatever is here because it's given an editor access. So let the person type his name here, his or her name. Let the person type his or her name here on row on column I. Just type in your name. Let's know who that person is. Okay. So with that function, you can, but with Excel, you can't do it. You can't collaborate real time. All of us on this live corner can collaborate using this Excel to make sure that we get it completed within a short while. Okay. So, but with Excel, you can't do that. But Microsoft already have another tool that also has this same functionality. It's called Office 360. Okay, so it can also do the same functionality. Yes, I will share the material with you. After the class, I will share with you. I can even share it now. I can share it now. So I'll drop it on the president's group. So a being can with this thing allow me to yeah. So it's just designed to the slide is designed to just enable you carry out this simple task. Okay. Designed to help you carry out the simple task. So let me see if anybody has engaged. Yeah, that's good. That's a Bing. So you can see now. You can add, correct, do whatever he wants to do. So we have someone else here too, right? We have anonymous cat, Ian cat. So that's the power of Google Sheets, right? And all of these are also stored in the cloud. Whatever you are doing here, they are stored in the cloud. You can access it through Google Drive. Okay, so many other functions. And of course, you can also use this. You do know that if you build your web application, you can decide to use Google Sheet as your database instead of paying for each amount of money on your database, right? You can use Google Sheet saving it on Google Cloud, right? That's Google Drive. So this will enable you, it will help you cut costs, right? So if you are designing a simple, probably we'll get there. We'll build a simple web application that will host it on the Google Cloud. That's using Google Drive. Okay, so host the database there. So, and of course, with the Google Sheet, you can add extensions, a lot of extensions, third-party extensions. You can add a lot of third-party extensions that you can use. Can you see? We have add-ons, get add-ons, manage add-ons. So you can add these add-ons from the Google stuff. So you can add macro record, right? App script. So you can use app script now to design any kind of application you want to. So you guys, well, for those of you that are curious, you can just play around with some of these things. App sheets, you can create app sheets, create an app, build sample apps, learn how to create apps. So everything is using Excel. You know, this what's the name? Microsoft Excel also has this macro, right? It has this macro which enable you to write a Visual Basic code, right? So Excel also has, but much more. Google Sheet has much more. You can also create Data Studio, right? All of these are very powerful tools. We'll get there, right? Excel is very powerful. Google Sheet is, you can use it for so many things, right? So we'll keep working on Google Sheet. This one is just to give us a kind of foundation, right? So we can do a lot of things with how to do real data analysis, visualization of your data. So we'll come with already existing data. We want to do some of the projects like that. All right. So any other question? Yeah, you can have the material. So if there's no other question, I think that's it. Please do well to fill your attendance. If you don't fill it, those of you that comes here, if you don't fill it, you might have some little issues. Okay. So thank you guys and have a great weekend. Yeah, I've made the material available. The material is dropped on the president group. Bing will share it with you on the WhatsApp. So if you are from any other local government, your president will also share the material with you. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. If there's no question, so that will be it from my end. Yes, probably I will also share it with you. If Bing didn't share it, I also share it with you. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. So please do well to work on the challenge that I've given to you. Bye.